All right, welcome back to the channel. Adrian Broner, the problem Broner, issues a warning to them boxing champions out there, talks about maybe moving down to his actual weight and where he is in his career. Let's talk about Adrian, the problem Broner, in this video. All right, welcome back. Adrian Broner, the Enigma Broner, one of the biggest characters in boxing, man. You always got something we can say positive about a fighter. With Adrian Broner, clearly, dude, this guy has managed to be one of the focal points of boxing for the last 10 years, never lets down in entertainment value in the fight or after the fight or in a bathroom at Wendy's or in a fight with somebody in a parking lot in Las Vegas. It doesn't matter. If Adrian Broner is there, Adrian Broner is going to entertain you. Unfortunately, it's not always in the ring, but he did. Now that everybody's sitting at home in this quarantine. By the way, happy quarantine day to everybody else. I hope that this boxing content helps you get through your day, maybe, break the monotony of being stuck up in your house if you're stuck up in the house. But, thoughts and prayers go out to everybody during this very, very trying time. So we'll just keep on making this boxing content. Hope that you join me. Adrian Broner was sitting in his house, putting away groceries, jumping on Instagram. And it's a curious little trend here, man, that there's a lot of channels that are putting up fighters Instagram live streams on their YouTube channel. That's a pretty unique way. I'm not quite sure how people are able to do that, but hey, man, it doesn't violate procedures. It makes things a lot easier for me to see because I don't really have time to go through Instagram and follow everybody and watch these things live. So in this hiatus, I have been watching Fight Hype as somebody that has done that. I also think Fight Hub has been doing that a little bit. So you get to see these kind of the live streams, the Instagram live streams from these fighters. Adrian Broner's was very insightful, man. First and foremost, I am a fan of Adrian Broner. I've always liked Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner does a lot of things that, make me, I don't really blush, but if I did blush, I would blush. A lot of times he's doing things, it's like I feel kind of embarrassed for him. But at the end of the day, man, he always keeps you entertained. So he was talking in this live stream about his future in boxing and a bunch of really interesting stuff, man. Like, how he used to have these rap groups, about billions, and he doesn't have the rap group anymore. He just kind of pulled off of that because he was, wasn't making a lot of money. But yet he was paying stipends to his artists. So he had to pull off of that but now, he's in a situation where he's at home and he's working out. He's not at clubs. He's not doing, all of the different things that people are familiar with Adrian Broner for doing, going out drinking, going out partying, doing a bunch of stuff, getting in trouble. Well, hey, man, if there is somebody that a quarantine can do justice for, it has got to be a guy like Adrian Broner or Gervonta Davis. Because if you cannot leave your house and you cannot be within 6 feet and you typically trying to stay away from 6 feet from somebody, that eliminates a lot of the foolishness that you have that'll distract you. And Adrian Broner made that statement. I thought it was a really good thing. But the thing that interested me the most in what he was talking about was he made an observation that I've made for a while about Adrian Broner. And that is that Adrian Broner, you can love him or you can hate him. Adrian Broner fights top level competition on a consistent basis, even though you might suspect that he does not have the ability to win the fight. Even it doesn't matter if he's an underdog or whatever, Adrian Broner still goes out there and makes that fight. Look at all of the fights that this dude has had, man, and compare this stuff to some of the other champions that we have in boxing that people call, the pound for pound best guy in the world. And remember that Adrian Broner is somebody that very well could be picking and choose. If he very well could be picking and choosing opponents that would look easy for him, but either he's not able to do that for some reason that I'm not aware of, or he's not willing to do it, or they keep offering him this money so that he can fight these other guys and they can have a big crowd there for him and they can move on and do other things. But look at the names of the people that Adrian Broner has fought with: Sean Porter, Vargas, Mikey Garcia, Manny Pacquiao, Marcus Maidana. Those 5 people themselves, those people themselves. I would ask anybody to name somebody else in boxing that has fought that high level of competition between the 140 and the 147 pound division. I don't really think you can find one. Maybe Errol Spence Jr., because you have Porter, the Kell Brook, the Lamont Peterson, I think, but that's just 3. He doesn't have the Porter, the Vargas, the Manny Pacquiao, the Marcus Maidana, and the Mikey Garcia. Errol Spence obviously has a Mikey Garcia too. Now, these fights for Adrian Broner were losses, but at the same time, dude, he's somebody that is still willing and taking that fight, and he's taking that fight against guys that are really at least 2 weight classes up from where Adrian Broner should be fighting. So what Adrian Broner said in this is like, just imagine if I get back down and I'm fighting if I just fight at my weight. Now, I believe that the weight for Adrian Broner, the best weight for Adrian Broner, if there's any way that he can make it and he can make it without draining himself, would be 135. It's 135 pounds, because at 135 pounds, a guy with as much pop as Adrian Broner has. One thing you got to understand, remember, and give Adrian Broner credit for is that Adrian Broner can pop. Adrian Broner can punch. He does have fast hands. His only real problem is that when you let a lot of shots off at him, he will kind of stand there and let you take shots, and he'll block and try to parry some or whatever, but he just goes inactive for periods of time. But if he's fighting somebody that is the same size as him, or somebody that's moving up in weight trying to do that with Adrian Broner, and those guys' punch don't really carry very much impact, man, Adrian Broner might very well be able to he might be able to, let his hands go in the middle of an exchange and not worry necessarily about something coming out. And if a guy that's like Adrian Broner is strong enough to knock down a Sean Porter might have been the 11th round that he caught Sean Porter in with that left hook, same left hook that Errol Spence Jr. caught Sean Porter with. If he's able to carry that much power against a guy that is sturdy and as big as Sean Porter, what he can do at 135 pounds, man, could be really be something nice. However, he is later on in his years. And there's some good 30 pounders right now. There was conversations about him fighting Devin Haney. If he could get down to 135 pounds, dude, I would love to see the dude fight anybody there. But the reason why, again, the thing that got me about this conversation that Adrian Broner had was him saying that if you look at the other champions in boxing, and if you give the same level of competition that you give them, hey man, he said he might be undefeated with first round knockouts or whatever, but probably not. But let's think about it. If you go and you give him the same opponents as Vasily Lomachenko at 135 pounds, I think Errol Spence Jr. I think that Adrian Broner beats everybody that Vasily Lomachenko fought at 135 pounds, and I do think, he knocks him out. I think a Luke Campbell fight, I think he stops Luke Campbell. I think he stops Jorge Linares. I think he stops Jorge Linares, Jose Pedraza. Jose Pedraza might be able to go the different distance, but he ain't beating Adrian Broner. Definitely will knock out $8 million Corrala. And would look like I think he have a chance to look like a superstar in all those fights, right? But then you look at if you adjust for the same size and you give him the same last 5 fights of a caliber fighter that Terrence Crawford has fought, like a Jose Benavidez, an Aegis Kalvanakis, Julius Ndungo, that type of, who did I miss anybody? Yeah, Amir Khan. Amir Khan versus Adrian Broner might actually be a pretty decent fight though. until Adrian Broner catches him with that left hook and knocks him out. But, anyway, all in all, man, I think Adrian Broner brought a good point up. Specifically, I really love this dude's level of competition. I hope that this whole staying at home thing can help him, with the amount of distractions that he has in his life and doing all the different things that he had going on, and just allows him to focus on training, eat right, get his body weight down to, if nothing else, a comfortable 140. And we can get him back in the ring, man. I think that'd be an excellent thing. But definitely cats like Terrence Crawford and the rest of these other dudes need to take note and start fighting, guys of that level of the same level of competition that Adrian Broner had. Because, man, I tell you, I say this all the time. If you could combine the heart, if you could combine the willingness to fight anybody that Adrian Broner has and the personality of Adrian Broner with the fighting skills of Terrence Crawford, dude, you would just have something just gigantic on your hands, But anyway, it is what it is. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.